Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to my show. How's everybody doing? I hope you had a fabulous week. I am Maria from AskMariaNow.info, 640-208-1014. So I am a strategic intuitive consultant. I do readings. I get into the core of the matter. I want to know what's going on and how we can navigate through it. That's basically who I am and what I'd love to do. I've been doing this many years. I've been a professional reader for a very long time, and I'm here to help. That's basically what I want to do. I want to get you through your situation. I want to help you to navigate, and we want to come to some kind of a conclusion to help you. You know, things don't change because a card or a reader or anybody says anything. We have to actually focus on it, and I love to give different views, and when you're not in the box, you could see a little bit clearer. Tonight, one of the things I did want to talk about, which I do get a lot of, is family turmoil, right? And how we can navigate it, why we're there, what's going to happen, why do I feel this way? And we feel an overwhelming amount of guilt when it's our family, close family, our children, our spouses, our parents, our siblings, and we fight with them. We fight with that gusto, right? We get like so angry and so mad, and we don't know why. And then I know a lot of people wouldn't say this, but they'll say, "What the hell am I doing here? Like, I don't even align with these people. I don't even like them half the time." So, and then that overwhelming guilt comes in. And a lot of the things that I learned when I had this conversation with many of my clients is that it's not so much, the moment. It's about the buildup, right? It's about the disrespect. It's about that you not being heard. And because you love these people, it is so deep that, when it gets explosive, it's just out of control at that point. And that's when I think we learn our biggest lessons, right? We learn how we have to put up boundaries. We learn our strength. We learn to value ourselves. We learn to not accept things that we don't want to accept because these situations are really emotionally painful. And that's when we learn to develop as we grow older and older. We learn to develop those skills. And that's what it really is about. Our family is our biggest teachers. Like it, love it, hate it, it is what it is. So I know that a lot of people tonight have something going on in their families and they don't know how to confront the situation and the tension. And, you know, if you're the one that is constantly doing and constantly fixing and constantly taking that role on, you become to a point of being exhausted physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that is not good. So what I wanted to talk about is, know you have a reality about this. And the hardest part is that you really just can't walk away and just make believe it never existed, as if it was a friend or an ex-lover or something you could just, on with life. But these people you're stuck with, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to take it. And it means that you have to start putting up these boundaries. So, how many times you say things you can't take the words back or you're feeling unappreciated. So I just wanted to give you a little shift of perspective here. And I want you to know that you could still love these people, but have peace, right? You could still connect with them without hurting so much or without doing or trying to be the one to always fix things. There comes a point where your family situations, you have to be loyal to yourself and just say to them, hey, I don't want to deal with this right now. I want to put some boundaries up. I want to be able to talk without yelling. And when these things escalate, just allow them to blow up and listen. I know it's so hard. I mean, I know I have a hard time with that. When you love these people, that doesn't mean that you got to lose yourself. And boundaries don't mean that you're rejecting them. And you can care, but you don't always have to be carrying everything. And when you start putting that mindset in there and learning the word no, right? No, I can't do it. And just being okay with saying no, that's the biggest problem. So I just want you to know that tonight, when you go home and you think of the bed, or if you're home or you're laid in the bed or something's going on, just know that, you know, you're allowed to pick peace. You're allowed to protect your energy, and you're allowed to heal even if things don't change right away. And that's what I'm here for. So if you're ever in a situation where you need some clarity or some guidance, or just to vent, not to argue, and just to know that just because they're your family doesn't mean you have to be mentally exhausted or mentally abused or mental or not heard, or you have a right to all these things. You just have to learn how to put in a different perspective, and saying no or I don't want to becomes a hell of a lot easier than getting involved in that argument. Start picking and choosing what you want to deal with, and you don't have to deal with everybody's thing or problem just because they're in your family. There comes a point where you got to step back and say, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry that happened to you. And maybe you could figure it out. But anyway, I did want to do a reading, but I want to wish everybody who's having any kind of conflict to know again that I'm here for you. This is the kind of work I do, and we can navigate, and let's see what happens. So I think I have someone ready for a reading, and may I know who that is?
Hi, my name is Susan.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you, Maria. I loved what you had to say. Uh,
Oh, good,
yeah,
honey.
I
I'm
really,
glad it
really,
helps.
I, re,
We all have it.
I related to it. Yeah,
Absolutely. I think we all relate to it. I don't think anybody gets away with at least one moment in their family without one person or one situation. I think that's life, right? We're here for those lessons and those boundaries, and learning those boundaries without the guilt, I think, is probably the hardest thing that we have. But how can I help you tonight?
yeah, or the manipulation by a family
Oh,
member
oh,
uh, or child. Yeah, of turning around what you say, and you have to come up with another way of being able to um, handle it without them getting going into a frenzy of manipulation with you said this, you had said this. It's better to write it down and text it, because today, the kids today, they want to text everything.
yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, they
then
do.
things get
That can come to your benefit,
things,
though.
yeah, then everything gets misconstrued.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
The kids
So,
are challenging today. The kids are challenging, and the parents have a lot of added things that maybe we didn't have. I don't know how old you are, but I know maybe I didn't have. We didn't have the texting with our kids, and they didn't have those computers where they're getting influenced by so many so-called influencers, and you know, it affects the kids today, and not in a positive way. Not in a positive way. So the parents today raising kids, they have a lot more interference by the outside world, right? And it becomes hard, and
right.
they're nastier. They really are. They could be really nasty, and they want to be all these things, but they're not mentally ready for all these things in life yet. They didn't get a chance to enjoy the childhood and the innocence as much, so it is hard. It's very hard for
Yeah,
parents today.
yeah. No, I agree, because they try to manipulate, or they'll say they say and hear what they want to say and hear, or misconstrue. With texting, it's a lot of stuff gets misconstrued,
That's
or
true too.
third party. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So you're doing psychic mediumship, or I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I'm
exactly the
clairvoyant.
base.
I'm clairvoyant. I am clairvoyant. I am spiritual. I do tarot if you like. Um, I mediumship. I get it. Sometimes I can't. I'm not a straight medium, but when we're talking about
Yeah,
something, come to me. I will give you any information I get.
I'd rather have clairvoyant and psychic,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever you
so
choose.
it works
That's
out.
fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's
So
going
what,
on? And ask me a specific question.
yeah. So I had a legal situation that regarding family member I that I picked the wrong group to handle it. It was for my husband, and I just had really bad luck with the attorneys, and they did what they wanted to do, and they were trying to reopen stuff that had been closed 2 years ago. So shysters. So I had
That's
to sort of walk away from it, and I have to go back to it and address it. And I was wondering if what you pick up is the best way, because I'm ready to go to the state bar. I mean, they shouldn't be allowed. It's very abusive what they did. Uh,
I do see you going to the state bar anyway, whether it turns out halfway decent or not. There's still going to be some sort of repercussion towards them because what you went through was a lot. They did not represent what you really wanted, and I feel that you'll get some success even if you reopen that case. But I feel that at the end of the day, you're going to want to report them. I do. I feel the stress is overwhelming, and I would definitely go back and revisit. I wouldn't let them get away with it. And I also may advise you to consult maybe another attorney just to get the correct verbiage that you may need to do this. But you get some success, but I still see a lot of stress, and I feel you will be reporting them to the bar.
yeah, thank you. No, I actually, the attorney that the other uh, uh, people had, they set me up. So, and I proved it. If I could have done it myself, I would have done it myself.
Right. Well, you could try to get some of your funds back or try to make this right. I feel you will make something right out of it. You'll get something out of it, but I do feel that you will take it to the next step and report it to the bar, and rightfully so. If they're not doing their job and you're doing most of the work and it didn't turn out the way you thought or what they promised or however it went down, I would revisit it, get all my facts straight, and do what you have to do. You'll be okay with it.